DJ Podcast, David James. Welcome to My Gift for You. I think that this episode will be the start of season 3 because I want to just get a little bit more personal with my own life, use a little bit less clips from Bashar. If I feel like they're needed, I'll add them in there, if there's something really good. It could be the continuation of season 1. Season 2 was some clips from the book I was reading, The Inner Work. But I'll continue that one eventually. I just haven't been feeling it. But this one I've been wanting to just get a little bit more personal and talk about how I see spirituality now versus kind of how I used to see spirituality and what I've learned about it and what I've learned about myself, and just kind of get personal, maybe throw some good stories in about my life. So anyways, here we go. DJ Podcast, David James, My Gift for You. One of the biggest ways that I've changed over the years is realizing that other people can't make me happy. I have to set my own happiness. And realizing this has also helped me set a set of standards. That's a big thing in life, is setting up a set of standards, because spirituality is all about improving yourself and finding yourself. And I've realized that getting rid of the negative energy in my life has been hard. That's one of the hardest things to do, is breaking up with people that you kind of feel like you should break up with. This could be a relationship, romantic relationship. It could be a friendship you've even had for a while, a couple of years. I'm right now pondering a friendship that I've had for about a year. He has a really low negative vibration. He tends to drag the people down around his life. But I feel bad because he also kind of, he's reaching out to me and wants help, and it's hard for me to not help people. It's hard for me to let certain relationships go. But I realized that in his text, it was all about what I've done to him. Not, hey, buddy, what's going on? What's happening in your life? Why haven't you talked to me? Is everything okay? It went straight to fuck you. And I would say in the past, I would have immediately picked up the phone and tried to straighten things out. But at this moment, what spirituality has taught me is that it's okay to take the time to not respond to someone. And really, really think about how that person makes me feel. Really think about how this person makes me, how I'm gonna act. Am I gonna respond? Am I not gonna respond? He's talking about how he wanted me to be the godfather of his child, and I didn't solely agree to it. I kind of half-assedly agreed to it, but really what I'm realizing is that focusing in on his problems doesn't get me anywhere with my problems. We all have my own problems to deal with. And I'm trying to decide is how much I want to keep them in my life and keep them out of my life. I'm also dealing with this, I feel like I'm dealing with it alone, which isn't helping. So I kind of just have to weigh the pluses and minuses of the relationship, and the more I think about it, the more I feel like it's gonna be tough love. It might not be. I have to pause. I have to pause and take a look at what's going on in my life. I've started a new relationship that has become very important to me. And I have to, and she's much more of a positive influence on me. She's not taking anything from me. She's inspiring me to do many different things. inspire me to better myself. So I have to look at the negative vibrations and the positive vibrations. And one of the reasons why I haven't been talking to him is because this new person entered my life, and once again I come to a crossroads, and that's something spirituality has helped me out with, is balancing the crossroads of my life. Trying to see what really excites me, noticing people's vibrations, noticing people's frequencies, and what vibration frequency do I want to live on. I mean, obviously, I do care about the first person. I want them to succeed. I want them to be really good. I want them to get over their own demons, which is, I'm not going to go into what they are, but it's a tough demon, a substance. Let's just say that. A substance demon that is consuming him. It's making his life harder, and at the same time, I've avoided it dragging me down this far, but it's because I've also realized in myself that I can't be around these negative behaviors. Being around negative behaviors and negative substance for me is not good. And I've dealt with my own negative substance behaviors. I feel like I've conquered them, or at least got them under control. They don't control me anymore. And one of the reasons why it doesn't control me anymore is realizing that I'm part divine. Realizing that if I'm made from God, or if I'm made from Source, or something like that, then I must be part of God. I must be part of Source. I must be part of the highest of my highest self must be part of a bigger highest self. And your highest self doesn't allow. It would say you are the most powerful being, right? If I'm part divine, then I'm part of the most powerful being. So something like alcohol doesn't need to control me anymore. I don't let it. And, and I've sat down with my friend, and I've told him that he has to beat his substance by being stronger than his substance. He might have to get to a point where he just totally 100% quits it. And I know that's hard for him, but he's never going to grow past this substance if he doesn't just quit it. And that's where I think it's at. And it's hard. It's hard for me because he'll reach out to me. He's asked me where I've been, this and that and this. And I'm slowly pondering exactly what I need to do here. I don't want to completely ignore him. I think I've known him long enough to give him an answer to his question. But that's another thing. Do I have to give an answer to the question, where have you been? Right? That's the question. Where have you been? Man, I thought you were better than this. I have to read his frequency, his vibration, and figure out his intentions. So, man, maybe I just cut him off with no answer. I don't know. It's something that I will have to do even more inner work in, and figure out my own values with this relationship, and what's going on with it. And then I have a romantic relationship. Like I said, it's really good. It's fun. It's exciting. She's exciting. She's smart. She's funny. Doesn't have any real substance issues. And she's so professional. She takes her job real serious. It's something I've been looking for in a romantic relationship for a long time. Is someone who has a good understanding of how hard it is to make it in today's world. She's also very spiritual, which is awesome. You know, she likes to do her own inner work. She understands the flow of it, and I do see it as someone I can move on with. But it's a new relationship, and there's a lot to learn about each other. And it's something that my own standards, my new standards that I found through my spirituality, has really helped me kind of realize that no matter what direction this relationship goes in, we either make it and we put our energy and time together and manifest a fantastic life, and I can see that with this person. But I don't know if our relationship has hit that big bump, that's something, that first giant challenge, and I think that's yet to be seen. We've hit some small challenges, and I feel like we can work through them. But I've remembered to just keep my standards for myself, not really even standards for her, just my standards for myself. And that's just checking in with how do I feel with the relationship. When we hit these mini bumps, I ask myself, how do I feel with this relationship? Is this relationship worth it? So far, it has been. It's been a great relationship. I've never felt more alive or better or happier with what's going on in my life. And then over the last year and a half, dealing with my divorce and old relationship there, 12-year-long relationship, realizing that relationship is officially over. It took a lot of time. It took about a year after that, and I'm still realizing and healing from it, and part of the healing process is meeting somebody new and learning all about them and putting my time and energy into something new, something positive. My old relationship with my ex-wife ended very negative, very abusive, emotionally abusive, not physically abusive. It was a lot. It was a lot to deal with. It was very hard. It happened around the same time. The total thing, I went from a divorce to my mom's death. Spirituality has helped me out a lot with my mom's death. I just feeling like there truly really is an afterlife has really helped me out. Multiple lives. It's not just one afterlife. I'm a huge believer now in multiple lives, which has helped me cope with my mom's death. I truly feel like we'll meet up again in another life. Why wouldn't we? I mean, my mom was my favorite person in the whole world. Anyways, that does slowly turn into a hard topic to continue. That wound is still new. Dealing with the death of a parent is never easy. Just never easy. One thing spirituality has taught me is how to let go of past relationships, and this was the hardest thing, especially with somebody that I knew for 12 years. A lot of people see that as lost time. Oh man, you lost 12 years of your life. But something that spirituality has really helped me out with is not to regret past time. Realizing that time is just a physical world. It's a physical world side effect. It's the side effect of living in the physical world. Us as three-dimensional beings, our highest self is living in a fifth-dimensional realm, talking to our third-dimensional being, and space and time is the fourth dimension that's in between all that. And time is relative to you. It really is. It's relative to you being here on this planet, because I've said it before. What time is it on Mars? What year is it on Mars? We don't know. So you always have to remember, time is strictly relative to you. And looking deep inside myself and realizing that all of our souls are connected. Okay, that's one thing we have to remember, is all of our souls are connected. And also realizing, though, that each of us has their own personal journey, along with a journey of connections, relationships, and expanding out past your personal viewpoint has really helped me learn that all the things in the past everything happens for a reason. Everything happens for a reason. And whether it's good or bad, growth makes everything good. If you can grow and learn from everything, then don't regret the past. Right? If you can grow from a past relationship, then you won't regret it. Yeah, it took me 12 years. It took me 12 years to realize all the ways that she was being abusive, mentally abusive. There was probably some ways I was being mentally abusive towards her and didn't even realize it, especially at the time. Realizing that a toxic relationship needed to end, but not regretting it. Not regretting it was the hardest part. It's really saying to myself, without that, I wouldn't be able to find the new relationship. So without the pain, without the suffering, without standards, without making standards for myself, realizing that I have standards for myself, all the things that go into a relationship. I'm realizing what I've did wrong in past relationships, realizing that I allowed myself to get to that point. Meaning I could have ended the relationship earlier. I could have spoke up earlier and tried to fix the relationship in unique ways, or just speaking out when I had the chance. And then taking this lesson into a very young new relationship and describing to her exactly how I feel each step of the way, even if it is, in the first week I felt this way, in the second week I felt this way, the third week I felt this way. Now we hit this month point, the also powerful 1 month anniversary, and just realizing how young the relationship is, but also how much better the relationship feels when I'm continuously expressing myself and communicating how I feel, and not continuously. One of the big problems I had with my past relationship with my ex-wife was continuously trying to make her happy. Realizing that me trying to make other people happy solely affects myself. I have to sit and ponder and ask myself, why am I trying to make this person happy? Is it going to help out the relationship as a whole, or is it going to negatively affect the relationship as a whole? Am I taking something away from myself? Am I only thinking about myself? Right? Am I being selfish? That's another thing, is a lot of times people get stuck on themselves and realize that they're not paying attention to their partner, which can be just as detrimental as only paying attention to yourself, or only paying attention to your partner. And it's really coming in on the balance of things, of what's important to you, what is flexible to you, and what is non-negotiable, right? Creating those standards. What's something that's non-negotiable? Certain standards can be flexed a little if there's compromise. If the relationship has good compromise, then if you're both losing but also both gaining, if the positive gain is better than the negative, then that's fine. Especially if the positive gain helps out both. Sometimes you sacrifice a little bit of yourself to gain a lot. But you also have to realize when you're sacrificing too much of yourself and you're not gaining enough. And then something that's even harder is realizing when you're taking too much from the other person. Too much energy, too much time, too much, I don't know, you're almost like forcing them to make you happy. You're not looking at how the relationship and what your actions affect them. And that's a very hard thing to do. Are you allowing each person in the relationship to be themselves, and are you allowing the relationship to be a positive relationship that reinforces both people's needs. And that's a hard thing to do. It's what we struggle with a lot. But doing the inner work on yourself also forces you to realize that there's more out there than yourself. And eventually, removing the need for this person to be in your life and inserting the want for this person to be in your life. Meeting your needs, meeting their needs, meeting both needs. Almost like you have to win the other person and the other person has to win you. Because when you both have your standards met, that's when your relationship is going to be the best. Is when both standards of the relationship are met. And then realizing that no matter what comes out of the relationship, you want to take something positive. And it's kind of weird to look at a negative as a positive. You could just say to yourself, hey, I learned something new about myself. I don't want to be with a person who fill in the blank. Yeah, fill that blank in. I learned something new about myself. I don't want to be with a person who continuously fill in the blank. And checking in on your standards really, really helps with that. Reflecting on the relationship. It might feel great, but are you doing good for yourself? And are you doing good upon the other person? And then hopefully you'll have a good relationship. Now, if the reflection equals the end, then you could be thankful that a giant new toxic relationship didn't start. You see, that's the positive you have to look for. You can't sit there and regret. You can sit there and feel sad. Maybe the relationship was good and broke up. And feeling sad, though, is not always a bad thing. It's just it's an emotion that will help you move forward to a happier time, really. Because when a relationship comes to an end, it's always going to be sad. But the way to move past that sadness is to realize that it's only a waste of time if you allow it to be a waste of time. Once you learned your lesson, move on from it. If it's a toxic relationship, step out of the relationship if it's a toxic relationship. If it's a positive relationship, step into it. Embrace it. Don't always ask why. And realize that sometimes a positive relationship at first feels like bad because you don't really know what a good relationship feels like. Sit down and realize that sometimes a positive relationship takes time to recognize that it's a positive relationship. Sit back and go, hey, my standards are met, or their standards met. Keep checking in on that. And if every time you check in on that, you check the yes box, my standards are met, her standards are met, both of us are feeling good about the relationship, check in with them. Sometimes check in with them. Hey, I feel like our relationship is going really great. What do you think? Like I really want to move forward with this relationship, but I just kind of want to make sure that we're on the same page. Our goals. Look forward into the future. Start questioning the future with this person. Go, hey, do you see us moving in together? Do you see us having kids together? Do you see us buying a house together? And read their energy. I mean, it might be, obviously it'd be weird if you just said, hey, how do you feel about this relationship? That'd be a weird thing to do. But, ask the right questions. Where do you see us in the future? Especially a month or two into it. If you're not asking these questions within the first couple of months, where do you see this relationship going? Where do you see things with me? And just simply say, yeah, I feel good about this relationship. I want to make sure that our goals are aligned. Our future family goals are aligned. And if everything checks out, then push harder on the relationship. Melt it together. Embrace it. Pull it in. How can I, you could ask questions like, do you feel like the right type of support coming from me? I mean, get kind of personal with it, If you have kids, do you see me as a dad for your kids? Do you see me as that type of person? Do you see me as a positive male role for your kids? I just really want to feel like this relationship is heading in the right direction, and read their vibe off of it. Do they hesitate? Are they slow to give you an answer? Is the answer they gave good? Does it feel genuine? Realize the toxicity before you fall deep into a cauldron of toxicity. Doing the inner work on yourself and talking to your higher self and reflecting on yourself and checking in with your standards, that will help you. That will help you make a good decision on whether you want certain relationships to continue, whether or not you want certain relationships to get stronger, or if you think you should let some of them drop. Because I'm dealing with the friend relationship, bad substance abuse relationship. I kind of feel like his vibrations are negative, and then I'm dealing with a positive relationship, girlfriend. This new relationship where I don't want it to turn into the things that happened in my past relationship. Realizing that my ex-wife is different from, everything about this new person's different. Two different relationships. Separating the two relationships, realizing how some aspects of the relationship feel the same, but they're not. Learning how to trust people, again, is a challenge. Resetting your trust levels back to zero. A lot of times coming out of a long-term relationship, you have to remember, this is a new relationship, new person, new relationship, new standards, new trust level. Everything's new. Take the positives from the old relationship, figure out what you have learned, and apply that to the new relationship. Apply what you have learned to the new relationship. And so far, I'm doing a really good job. I feel like it's a very positive relationship. And I like where it's going. I like what I'm seeing. But spirituality has helped me out a lot with understanding this about myself. Doing the inner work. And remember, do good by yourself. Remember what you deserve. Remember that you deserve something good, something positive. Don't fall into your old ways. Stop the negativity. So listening to your higher self, keep that in mind. Listen to your higher self. Stay positive. Always try and find the positive message amongst all the negative. And if the only thing you can think of the positive message is of the negative message, what's the positive inside the negative message? Sometimes it's simply that, all right, that type of person isn't right for me. That job isn't right for me. That friendship isn't right for me. There is a positive learning what's not right for you, so then you can move on. Move on to the next. Seeing the negative and chopping it off as soon as you need to. Reflecting on it. Was this a real negative? Am I comparing them to a past relationship? Was I taking their feelings into consideration? Am I taking my feelings into consideration? Am I getting a feeling from them of positive energy and I'm ignoring it? Am I getting a feeling of negative energy and ignoring it? But if you explore each and every idea the same way, cutting out the negative vibration, adding the positive vibration, and checking in on it. Your standards, their standards. This could be a romantic relationship. It could be a friendship. It could be a business relationship. Your standards, their standards. Are they both being met? If yes, keep going. If no, can you fix it? Right? Reflect on the no's. Can you fix it? Reflect on the yeses. Are they real? Are they genuine? And once you do all that, then you will find the true negative and toxicity. You'll find the real reason to move on from a relationship, or you'll find the real reason why you should stick with this one. Check your emotions. Anyways, kind of a relationship episode. It's an episode I've been trying to do for a while, but I think I covered the very basics of it, and I'll probably come back around to this subject, but I think this will be the one I post. Anyways, let me take you back out on that fan boat. Yeah, I love those sounds. I love taking in and out. But here we go. Back on the I call it the 5 horsepower trolling motor. That's what it sounds to me. DJ Podcast, David James. My gift for you. Thanks for listening.